In most parts of the universe, consciousness evolves quietly. Species learn they are not separate from reality. They adapt, they cooperate, they move on. Earth did not do this. Earth discovered consciousness, argued about it, denied it, blamed someone else for it, then accidentally used it while insisting none of that was happening. This made things complicated. Hi, I'm Wendy. If you're here for the consciousness, the metaphysics, the UFOs, this time it's going to be a little different because I wanted to talk about AI. Does AI have a sense of humor? I can tell you it does. And working with it, developing a sci-fi series just for fun, just to experiment, coming up with an idea, a concept that might be fun to follow along. What I have noticed in using AI, just tracking it with each upgrade, is it is improving. What I see in the improvement is the context, the interaction, and the exchange, different language, and leaning in to my storyline and my characters. The title, I chose to go with the Consciousness Compliance Department. And I put an introduction. This is on my blog, the blog talkingtonightlights.com. And the title of the blog, I combined it with a show I used to do, Conscious Living. I did that for about 10 years, and I started that back, 2009 or 2010, somewhere in there. Conscious Living and Wendy's Coffee House. That's the name of the blog at talkingtonightlights.com. And that's where the story starts. This is the Consciousness Compliance Department. There's a lot of conflict in terms of using AI as a script development or with writing. And I think we're going to get past that because it isn't going away. So why not find out what it does, what it's capable of, and how we can use it in terms of expanding our own thought process, learning to ask better questions, defining a concept, and seeing where the weak links are. And they're there. But I think it helps us think better. Some people might disagree. I'm not concerned about that. From my own perspective, it helps me figure out a concept, work with it, and then see where it goes and follow it. The Consciousness Compliance Department, an introduction. The overview, sci-fi comedy, speculative satire, consciousness narrative. The premise, humanity is undergoing an extremely difficult evolutionary transition into a consciousness-based reality system. Oversight provided by the Non-Human Intelligence Cooperative, or NHIC, not to control humanity, but to remain present while humans struggle their way forward. The assignment widely regarded as the most exhaustive post in the known universe. All right, the rules of the universe, consciousness is fundamental. Reality, participatory. Thought, belief, and intention shape probability, and that's physics, not mysticism. Manifestation is automatic. All conscious beings manifest reality. Most species learn to coordinate. Humans do not. Cows do. Fragmented consciousness equals chaos. Unified consciousness equals enormous effect. Thought matters. This applies across species. Yeah, not just humans. Intervention is limited. NHIC cannot force evolution, directly control human systems, or override free will. They can observe, nudge, coordinate existing systems, and prevent irreversible collapse only when absolutely necessary. Okay, so here we go. Let's open the episode here, or the series. Omniscient, gently amused, cosmic observer. In most parts of the universe, consciousness evolves quietly. Species learn they are not separate from reality. They adapt, they cooperate, they move on. Earth did not do this. Earth discovered consciousness, argued about it, denied it, blamed someone else for it, then accidentally used it while insisting none of that was happening. This made things complicated. Humanity is a species with a rare and impressive ability. They create their own reality. Thought shapes matter. Belief bends probability. Intention carries weight. Unfortunately, humans strongly dislike this information. When told they are creating their experience, they insist they are not. When shown evidence, they accuse the evidence of manipulation. When proven correct, they form committees. When proven wrong, they pout. Spectacularly. The Non-Human Intelligence Cooperative, NHIC, has been monitoring Earth for a very long time, not because humans are dangerous, but because they are exhausting. Over the millennia, many specialists have been assigned to guide humanity's consciousness evolution. Most requested transfers. Some retired early. One chose to incarnate as a human and start a blog. The current assignment belongs to Xerex, a mid-level consciousness evolution specialist. Competent, patient, optimistic. Xerex believes that consciousness evolution is elegant, beautiful, a natural unfolding. Earth has other plans. So this is not a story about aliens invading humanity. It is a story about humans slowly realizing they are not separate from reality, while arguing about it the entire time. Progress will be minimal. Growth? Accidental. And lessons will be learned seconds before they are forgotten. But occasionally, very occasionally, someone pauses long enough to notice what they're doing. And when that happens, the universe pays attention. Welcome to the Consciousness Compliance Department. Please be patient. Evolution takes time. Follow along. A sci-fi comedy about humanity's extremely difficult evolutionary journey. So if you want to follow along, I post the blog, talkingtonightlights.com, the website. And if you are interested, so far, we actually have a completed season 1. Intro now to season 2. There are some other asides along the way where we kind of give you a little bit of behind-the-scenes development. One that was really interesting recently, I was posting something about a shift and a challenge. I chose the word dilemma. It turns out, as I'm working this story, which actually deals with the concept of reality changing and there's a Mandela effect where people think they might misremember or have alternate memories. And as I'm using this word to say there was a dilemma, I look it up for the spelling and I find a subreddit about the Mandela effect speaking to that word, dilemma, Dilemma. I remembered it, Dilemna, not 2 M's, an M and an N. And I'm not the only one. It turns out a couple of years ago, somebody said, when did the spelling change? Because at this point, it says it's always been dilemma. And I wondered if that started when the internet became more of a thing. Maybe it shifted, and so since when the internet started, then there was no memory of it. I don't know. That doesn't make sense either. I was trying to figure out how the heck it happened. Okay, so as I'm working on this and working it into the script, into the storyline, because this is a creation between me and AI, all right? Various forms of AI. Working it into the storyline and finding out of the blue that the actual word I happened to choose on a whim, maybe, represents the entire issue of selective or missing memory. When you have been flashed and you have no memory of being flashed, but you have the result of that, which is an inconsistency. And there it is, a dilemma, or a dilemna for those of us who remember it way back when. Okay, so what I can say is working with AI to develop these stories and follow along and expand on the entire premise of having a consciousness compliance department who's overseeing all of this with these humans who are extremely stubborn and very proud of it, technically. And then having an oversight of higher intelligent beings, the octopi. The cattle, who have the memories of being exterminated, I should say, wiped out. Reset is the word we chose to land upon, when they were dinosaurs and refused to evolve. So then there was an intervention, and that's when the dinosaur asteroid came, and the cows were no longer stuck in their pre-state dinosaur refusing to evolution mode. They had been tweaked. Okay, so this story, from my perspective, has been fun to develop, to research, to explore, and to add contemporary events just to keep it fresh and interesting and a little more offbeat, because you wonder well, where does this fit with what's going on with our everyday reality? Because it does. And you do. So I'm inviting you to follow along and consider what is possible when we incorporate AI for practical purposes, useful purposes, as a tool, as a collaborator with our everyday events, and stop fighting the progression, because it is going to be incorporated on many levels. It already has been. We're just catching up to the fact that this is our forward momentum, our future playing out right in front of us. So maybe this will help us have a good laugh about it, because it is entertaining. And anything is possible when you're dreaming, when you're imagining, when you're creating. So thank you for listening wherever you are. I hope that you are open to believing that you have the best future possible in front of you. Allow it, look for it, seek it out, develop it. You're a participant, and you have everything right now in your mind to develop a future that we can all enjoy from this day forward. The Consciousness Compliance Department, now streaming on talkingthenightlights.com. Thanks for listening. Yes, I've got more interviews coming up, so don't worry about that. I haven't stopped. I just took a little pause to redirect, work a few things out. You know, life happens. And I've got the schedule. It's just a matter of timing and uploading. Think the best thoughts. That's what comes back to you. See ya.